wanted to show you a little bit more of what I found regarding the drift through the play space of the index controllers when calibrated to the G2's controllers using Open VR Space Calibrator. So as you can see here, I have a pretty accurate calibration at the moment, but what I've found is that when I move the controllers through the play space without moving the headset itself, so just moving the controllers like this, they stay pretty accurate. But it's only until I introduce movement from the headset itself that the drift happens. So when I move forward, see how the controller separates from the other controller? So this whole time I'm holding these controllers together, and when I move them like this, there's no drift. But when I move the headset itself, there's drift. And what I found is, at least in my environment and whatever settings I have, it doesn't matter how many times I calibrate, how accurate the calibration is. What I find is that that drift, you see the drift happening right now when I'm walking away, is measurable. It's about, for my play space, it's about 3 meters long. When I walk all the way to the other edge of the play space, the drift ends up being about 6 inches. And I measure that just by holding the controllers together and kind of measuring how far apart, how far this controller, their index controller, moves in my view. So if I edit the calibration really quick, you'll see that I'm gonna edit the calibration so these two are pretty close together right now at the edge of my play space. So hey, they're pretty close together here. When I walk all the way to the other side, you see the drift happening. That distance is about 6 inches or 6 or 7 inches. And it doesn't matter how accurate my calibration is, slow, fast, if I move through my play space while I calibrate, what sort of figure eight I do, if I delete all the recommended files, that drift, it still happens. And you can see that the rotational movement here is really bad when the controller has drifted apart so much. So that's why it's so jarring at the edge of the play space. But when you're at the center of the play space, this effect is not that bad. So let me re-edit the calibration so that at the center of my play space things kind of line up. See, I'm near the center of the play space right now, and if I do this rotational action, that problem doesn't happen. So the drift is really bad at the edge of the play space, even though the headset is pretty much moving the same amount. It's doing the same motion. So yeah, unfortunately I've just found more things to talk about, but no real solution.